Hello, little dreamers, and welcome back to Bedtime Tales Studio. I'm so happy you've joined me again for another gentle adventure beneath the magical moon of Dreamworld. Before we begin, snuggle into your favorite blanket, rest your head on your pillow, take one slow, peaceful breath in, and gently let it out. Very good. Tonight we'll follow a glowing lantern down an ancient forest path where every star has a story, every tree remembers a secret, and every act of kindness makes Dreamworld shine a little brighter. So close your eyes whenever you feel comfortable, open your imagination, and let's quietly step into Dreamworld together. Crescent Moon Chapter 1. The moon that never forgot. High above Dreamworld, the moon floated quietly among thousands of shimmering stars. Its silver light drifted gently over rolling hills, sleepy rivers, enchanted forests, and tiny cottages whose windows glowed like warm little hearts in the darkness. Everything felt peaceful. The trees whispered softly whenever the evening breeze passed between their branches. Tiny flowers slowly folded their petals for the night. Fireflies danced above the grass like little floating lanterns. Far away, an owl sang a slow, comforting melody that echoed through the forest. Dreamworld always became its most beautiful place after sunset. That was when magic woke up. Not the loud kind of magic that burst into sparkling explosions. Dreamworld believed in quiet magic, the kind you almost missed if you hurried, the kind that lived inside gentle smiles, helping hands, patient hearts, and peaceful evenings. Along a winding stone path stood a cozy little cottage surrounded by lavender flowers. Golden light glowed warmly through its windows. Inside, Oliver carefully placed another storybook back onto the wooden shelf beside his bed. Every night before sleeping, he liked to read just a few pages. Books made his imagination stretch far beyond the little cottage. They reminded him that every new day could become another wonderful adventure. Oliver walked to the window and looked outside. The moon seemed especially bright tonight, almost as if it were waiting. He smiled. "Good evening, moon." A soft breeze gently moved the curtains. Outside, the silver light sparkled across the garden path. Then something unusual happened. His lantern, the little lantern hanging beside the front door, began glowing all by itself. Not brightly, not suddenly, just a gentle golden pulse, almost like a heartbeat. Oliver blinked. He hadn't lit it, yet there it was, quietly shining. He stepped outside. The cool evening air smelled of pine trees, fresh grass, blooming jasmine. Crickets continued their tiny nighttime concert. The lantern glowed once again, softly, patiently, waiting. Oliver reached out and carefully lifted it from its hook. It felt warm, warmer than usual, almost alive. Then, very quietly, the lantern whispered, "Good evening, Oliver." Oliver's eyes became wide with wonder. He looked all around the garden. No one was there, only flowers, trees, fireflies, and the peaceful moon. Again the gentle voice came. "I have been waiting for tonight." Oliver held the lantern close. "You can speak." A tiny golden sparkle danced inside the glass. "Only when Dreamworld has something important to teach." Oliver smiled with curiosity instead of fear. Dreamworld was full of wonderful surprises, and every surprise carried a lesson. The lantern glowed a little brighter. "Would you like to take a walk with me tonight?" Oliver looked toward the winding forest path disappearing beneath the moonlight. He had walked there many times before, but tonight it somehow looked different. The trees shimmered softly, tiny lights floated between the branches. The air itself seemed full of gentle magic. Oliver nodded. "I'd love to." The lantern's warm glow stretched a little farther along the path. "Then let us begin." Together, one curious little boy and one mysterious glowing lantern stepped quietly into Dreamworld's peaceful night. Behind them, the cozy cottage remained glowing warmly beneath the silver moon, while ahead, a brand new adventure patiently waited among the whispering trees. Episode 2, The Lantern That Shared Its Light. Chapter 2, The Path of Quiet Wonders. Oliver walked slowly beneath the ancient trees, carrying the mysterious lantern with both hands. Its warm golden light spread gently across the winding stone path, making every pebble sparkle as though tiny stars had fallen to the ground. The deeper they walked into the whispering woods, the quieter the world became. Not silent. Dreamworld was never truly silent. It simply spoke in softer ways. Leaves rustled gently overhead. A distant stream sang its peaceful song. Somewhere far above, an owl called to the moon. Tiny fireflies floated lazily through the cool evening air, painting slow circles of golden light. Oliver smiled. This forest always feels different at night. The lantern glowed warmly. During the day, children see the beauty of Dreamworld. And at night, Oliver asked. At night, the lantern whispered, Dreamworld shows its heart. Oliver thought about those words. What does that mean? The lantern remained quiet for a few moments. Sometimes it answered with words. Sometimes it preferred letting Oliver discover the answer himself. They continued walking. Soon they reached a small wooden bridge crossing a gentle stream. The water below was as clear as crystal. Moonlight shimmered upon its surface like thousands of tiny diamonds dancing together. Oliver leaned over the bridge. He smiled as silver fish slowly drifted beneath the water. One little fish suddenly looked upward. Good evening, Oliver. Oliver laughed softly. Good evening. The little fish bowed politely before swimming away. Dreamworld always amazed him. Even the smallest creatures seemed filled with kindness. As Oliver crossed the bridge, something caught his eye. On the other side stood hundreds of tiny flowers. They glowed with pale blue light. Each flower opened only beneath the moon. Oliver knelt beside them. They're beautiful. They are moon blossoms, the lantern explained. They bloom only for hearts that walk gently. Oliver carefully touched one tiny petal. It felt cool, soft, almost like silk. The flower slowly glowed brighter. It likes you, said the lantern. Oliver smiled shyly. I like it too. The breeze carried the sweet scent of lavender through the forest. Everything felt peaceful. No one hurried. Nothing rushed. Even time itself seemed slower inside Dreamworld. Oliver often wondered if perhaps the moon asked time to slow down every evening so children could enjoy beautiful dreams just a little longer. They continued deeper into the forest. Soon the trees became much older. Their trunks were enormous. Their branches stretched high into the night sky like gentle giants protecting Dreamworld. One ancient oak slowly creaked as Oliver passed. Its leaves shimmered silver beneath the moonlight. Then the tree spoke. Good evening, young traveler. Oliver looked upward with a bright smile. Hello, the old tree chuckled warmly. I remember when you were much smaller. Oliver laughed. I've grown since then. You certainly have. The tree's branches swayed gently. But tell me, has your heart grown too? Oliver blinked. My heart. Yes, children become taller every year. But kindness, patience, and wisdom, those must grow too. Oliver thought quietly. I hope so. The tree smiled. That is a wonderful answer. The lantern's light became just a little brighter. Oliver noticed. It shines more every time someone says something kind. The lantern hummed happily. Kind words have their own light. Farther ahead, the forest opened into a peaceful meadow. Thousands of tiny white flowers stretched across the hills like a blanket of stars. The gentle wind made them sway together. It looked almost like waves upon a quiet sea. Oliver sat upon a smooth stone. This is my favorite place. The lantern rested beside him. Why? Oliver looked toward the sky. When I sit here, I remember how big the world is. The lantern glowed softly. And how does that make you feel? Oliver smiled. It reminds me that everyone matters. The flowers, the birds, the trees, the rabbits, my family, my friends, my neighbors. The lantern's golden light suddenly spread across the meadow. Every tiny flower glowed for just a moment. Dreamworld listens very carefully, whispered the lantern. It loves grateful hearts. Oliver watched in amazement. I didn't know flowers could hear. They hear much more than words. They hear kindness. They hear gentle footsteps. They hear patience. They hear love. Oliver smiled quietly. He suddenly felt thankful for every beautiful thing around him, not because they belonged to him, simply because they existed. The breeze changed direction. It carried a faint sound, very soft, almost hidden beneath the singing stream. Oliver listened carefully. Did you hear that? The lantern became still. Yes, its sound, sad, very slowly, very gently, a tiny cry floated through the forest, not loud, not frightening, just lonely. Oliver stood immediately. Someone needs help. The lantern glowed brighter than ever before. I believe you're right. Oliver carefully held the lantern. Without hesitation, he followed the quiet little voice deeper into the moonlit woods. The stars shimmered above. The old trees watched silently. Even the breeze seemed to guide him forward. Somewhere ahead, someone was waiting, someone whose path had grown just a little too dark. And tonight, perhaps, Oliver's little lantern had come for exactly this reason. Chapter 3: The Little Hedgehog Who Lost His Way. Oliver followed the gentle sound through the moonlit forest. His lantern cast a warm, golden glow over the winding path, while tiny fireflies floated quietly through the cool night air. The soft crying became a little clearer, not frightened, just lonely. Oliver carefully stepped around glowing mushrooms and sleepy ferns until he reached a small clearing. There, beneath a cluster of silver wildflowers, sat the tiniest hedgehog Oliver had ever seen. Its little nose trembled, its tiny paws hugged its knees, its eyes shimmered with tears. Oliver slowly knelt beside the little creature. "Hello," the hedgehog looked up. "Oh, I didn't hear anyone coming." Oliver smiled warmly. "My name is Oliver. My name is Hazel. I was collecting moonberries with my family." She looked down sadly. "I followed a butterfly, and now I can't find my way home." Oliver sat quietly beside her. He didn't rush. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is simply sit beside someone who feels alone. The lantern glowed softly. Hazel wiped her little eyes. "Do you think my family is worried?" Oliver nodded gently. "I think they probably miss you very much." The little hedgehog looked even more worried. "I should have stayed close." Oliver smiled kindly. "Everyone makes mistakes. The important thing is what we do next." Hazel looked toward him. "What should I do?" Oliver held up his lantern. "We'll find your family together." Hazel's tiny smile slowly returned. The three travelers continued deeper into the whispering woods. Oliver walked slowly so Hazel's tiny legs could keep up. The lantern shone a little farther with every step. Soon they reached a fork in the forest path. One trail disappeared beneath tall pine trees. The other followed a sparkling stream. Hazel looked confused. "I don't remember." Oliver didn't guess. Instead, he looked carefully. Tiny footprints covered the soft earth. Some belonged to rabbits, some to birds. Then Oliver noticed something. Very small berry stains, fresh. "They went this way." Hazel looked amazed. "How did you know?" Oliver smiled. "The berries told us." The lantern shimmered. Kind hearts always notice small things. Chapter 4: When kindness lights the way. As they followed the berry trail, the forest became darker. Clouds drifted across the moon. The silver light slowly disappeared. Only Oliver's lantern remained. Its warm glow stretched gently between the trees. Far away, someone called. "Hazel," another voice answered. "Hazel, where are you?" The little hedgehog's ears stood straight. "My family." She hurried forward. Oliver followed quietly. Soon they reached another clearing. Three hedgehogs searched beneath bushes while two little ones stood close together, trying not to cry. The moment Hazel appeared, everyone ran toward her. Her mother hugged her tightly. "Oh, Hazel, we've been searching everywhere. I'm sorry. I wandered away. I should have stayed close." Her father smiled warmly. "What matters most is that you're safe." The entire hedgehog family turned toward Oliver. "Thank you. You brought our little Hazel home." Oliver shook his head. "We found the way together." The lantern suddenly became brighter than ever before. Its golden light spread across the entire clearing. Flowers slowly opened. Fireflies gathered above the family. Even the moon slipped from behind the clouds. The old oak tree nearby whispered, "Kindness never loses its light." Oliver looked at his lantern. "It keeps becoming brighter." The lantern softly answered, "Because every kind choice shares its light with the world." Hazel walked back toward Oliver. "I don't have treasure. I don't have gold, but—" She handed him one tiny moonberry. "It's my favorite." Oliver smiled. "Thank you." He carefully accepted the little berry. It wasn't valuable because it was rare. It was valuable because it was given with love. Chapter 5: The Brightest Lantern in Dreamworld. Oliver continued walking home. The forest seemed different now, not because the trees had changed, not because the moon was brighter, but because Oliver's heart felt lighter. Along the path he noticed many little things he hadn't seen before. A snail helping another snail climb a stone. Two birds sharing a single nest, a squirrel carrying an acorn for an elderly rabbit. Everywhere, kindness quietly lived. The lantern gently hummed. "You see it now." Oliver nodded. "I thought kindness was something people did." The lantern smiled through its warm glow. "It is. It is also something that spreads. It travels, just like light." Oliver looked around Dreamworld. Every small act seemed connected to another. One smile encouraged another smile. One helping hand inspired another. One kind word comforted another heart. Oliver suddenly understood. No one changes the world all at once. The world changes one kind choice at a time. The lantern became wonderfully bright, not dazzling, not blinding, warm, peaceful, comforting. Like home, the stars above twinkled joyfully. The moon smiled over Dreamworld. The whispering woods gently swayed. Every flower seemed to glow a little brighter. Dreamworld itself celebrated kindness. By the time Oliver reached his cozy cottage, the first sleepy mist had begun drifting across the hills. He gently hung the lantern beside the front door. Its golden light continued shining softly, not because someone had lit it, but because kindness still lived inside it. Oliver looked toward the peaceful moon. "Thank you." The lantern whispered one final thought before becoming quiet once again. "Whenever someone chooses kindness, I will always shine." Oliver smiled. He stepped inside his little cottage. Outside, the fireflies slowly danced beneath the stars. The flowers folded their petals for the night. The stream continued singing its gentle lullaby. The old trees whispered peaceful blessings across Dreamworld, and high above them all, the moon watched lovingly over every sleeping child. That night, beneath Dreamworld's gentle moon, Oliver discovered that kindness is like the light of a lantern. The more it is shared, the brighter it becomes, not only for others but for the heart that carries it. Our magical adventure has come to a peaceful end. Thank you, little dreamers, for joining Oliver on tonight's journey through Dreamworld. Perhaps tomorrow, you'll discover your own little way to brighten someone's day with a smile, a helping hand, or a kind word. Remember, even the smallest light can guide someone through the darkest path. If you enjoyed tonight's bedtime adventure, we'll be waiting to welcome you back beneath Dreamworld's gentle moon for another magical story, where Oliver will discover a new adventure and another beautiful lesson to carry in his heart. Until then, close your eyes, take one slow, peaceful breath. Let the stars watch over your dreams. Let the moon keep you safe. And may your heart always shine with kindness. From all of us at Bedtime Tale Studio, good night, sleep peacefully, and sweet dreams.